Now, I have never been prouder than I was during lockdown last year when you helped us raise $400,000 for the Kids Helpline, because kids, of course, were the ones struggling the most with lockdown. So where did the money go? Well, I went and had a look today. With COVID lockdowns in the rearview mirror, we are now getting report after report of what we all knew in our hearts, that our kids were suffering the most. You remember on our show how we were passionate about this night after night after night. My little girl cried today because she wants to go back to school. We need to send kids back to school, Premier, because the kids that don't have it as good as my girls are really hurting. Today we learn that kids are stressed, are suicidal, and are turning up in emergency wards after hurting themselves. And the bit that breaks my heart is Australian children have been calling the Kids Helpline to report sexual abuse. They are being abused in their homes because they're not going to school. Premier, I will not use the word beg, but I mean it with all my heart. I was drawn to the work of people who were helping when kids needed it most during those lockdowns. And that's why we reached out to the Kids Helpline.
Staying at home doesn't mean you can't spend time with friends and family. It's about keeping your distance, not being socially isolated. And if you're worried or feeling blue, Kids Helpline is there for you. Anytime, any reason.
They were taking thousands of calls every single week, more than they had ever taken before. And as the calls came in, the stories got sadder. There was a 92% increase between March and August of 2021 in the number of kids that were ringing who needed an ambulance because they were attempting suicide. It was particularly bad in Victoria, where there was a 161% increase and a 77% jump in New South Wales. We wanted to help these people, and you helped big time. We asked for donations and you came forward, and we raised $400,000. In fact, I think their website's doing pretty well at the moment because we can't even refresh what the number is.
I couldn't believe that while I was waiting to come online. I heard the number.
Thank you, Paul, and your team, because that money wouldn't have been here for us if it wasn't for you really taking the cause up.
And because of your generosity, people like this are helping kids right now.
I'm glad we were able to help out last year. Where did that help go?
We've actually been able to help 4,000 young people across Australia using those funds.
That is amazing.
And we've also put on a new program called the New Grad program. We're about to do our second intake, which starts on August the 29th, with another 10 counsellors. But our first New Grad program we started in February this year, and we had 16 new grads coming onto the floor.
So the thing that's very obvious and the thing that's beautiful to see is that, you know, the people who were so generous last year, it had a tangible effect. It didn't go into, you know, billboards and social media spend. It's genuinely helped and helping kids.
It is having such a tangible impact.
It's definitely helping young people across Australia.
So once again, thank you to everyone who donated. Big or small donations, they mattered and they have changed people's lives. Thank you to everyone here at Kids Helpline. And let's make sure that whenever tragedy like lockdown strikes again, and sadly it will, that we think of our kids first, not last.